I'd like to ask the Chairman of Manx Utilities to provide a statement on the allocated budget of river maintenance in the last 5 years.
Dr Allinson to reply.
Thank you, Mr President. Manx Utilities receives a grant from Treasury for flood risk management. This grant has been £500,000 for each of the last 3 years and was included within the overall combined grant for drainage service provision prior to this. Manx Utilities' main responsibilities relates to flood risk management within the 85 kilometres of designated rivers, and therefore it follows that the vast majority of its expenditure on flood risk management relates to river maintenance activities, including assessment, planning, physical activities and monitoring. Gross expenditure budgets for the 5 years from 2014-15 to 2018-19 from the Isle of Man Water and Sewage Authority and subsequently Manx Utilities have ranged between £530,000 and £703,000 per year. Expenditure budgets comprise of 3 main elements: contracted works to undertake physical maintenance and improvement schemes, consultancy costs for modelling and design works, and in-house staffing costs for planning and supervising the outsourced activities. The majority of budgetary costs in each year relates to the contracted works, which have ranged between £380,000 and £462,000 per year. The budgeted amounts for these works for 2018-19 and 2019-20 were £400,000 for each year. Consultancy costs vary depending on activities being undertaken, but have averaged £74,000 per year since 2013-14. Staffing costs have varied from £103,000 to £198,000 per year. I can confirm the gross expenditure budget for 2014-15 was £584,000 and for 2019-20 was £761,000. For the current year, this includes £400,000 for contracted works, £150,000 for consultancy and £198,000 of staffing costs. I can also confirm that following the flood events of December 2015, Manx Utilities has sought to ensure its flood risk management budget has been spent in full, with contracted works for the last 3 years totalling £1.3 million against the budget of £1.2 million. Invariably, budgets set a target for expenditure, but planned activities can occur more quickly or slowly than anticipated at the time the budget was determined. But total expenditure over the last 3 years has exceeded the total budget, principally due to the need to progress consultancy advice to ensure activities are properly targeted. Thank you, Mr President.
Supplementary, Ms Edge.
Thank you, Mr President, and thank you to the Chairman for that very thorough response. Just with regards to, again, to the annual report, it does quite clearly state that 85 kilometres of designated rivers maintenance was carried out. And just with regards to what the honourable members just said, would you provide a breakdown of the individual spend on each river and which are the designated rivers that have received maintenance work in that period of time? And would you provide a breakdown? Obviously, the one thing that I'm very interested in, he said that there was 103,000 for employees and it went up to 198,000. I'm hopeful that that's for frontline services to make sure we've got the maintenance of our rivers. But if the honourable member could circulate a breakdown of the designated rivers, the budget and the employee costs for each of them projects, please.
It's in the bank.
Thank you, Mr President. I'm happy to provide the data that the Honourable Member has requested to all Timor members. Whether we can break it down for individual rivers is going to be a bit of a challenge, I think, in terms of the budget over the last 5 years, but I will endeavour to do so.